everybody. Welcome to Diva Dads, episode 31. I'm Dana Martin, and I am so excited to be back because I get to drink whiskey again.
And I'm Rodney Bettis. Thanks for joining us.
Mike Kilgore, it's great to be back.
I'm Adrienne Dobson, and my parents just walked in the door.
Happy birthday, Terry.
Happy birthday, Terry Dobson.
She can't hear you yet. Oh no, I might have locked the deadbolt. I might have to go check on that in a second. How is everyone doing? How are your holidays?
Great.
Amazing.
Great.
Awesome.
Elaborate.
I got to spend some time with my son, who J Feather Gaming, if you've seen him every once in a while as a comment on our stream, he does watch every now and then. We got to bowl for 3 hours straight. And I will tell you that even as a young lad, I don't think I ever bowled for 3 hours straight. And he's a young lad. And both of us the next morning were like, hey, how's it going? Like, you can't raise your arm. And it was terrible. I should have used the 12-pounders instead of the 14-pounders or whatever. So, yeah, but it was fun. It was great. Got to spend time with some family. Small portions of family. It wasn't big blowouts. Just the people who already live here. So it was good.
Yeah, I did a lot of Santa's Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of normal Santa's Wonderland. Wasn't too different. But it was great. It was a great season. It started off a little slow, but then it picked up and was.
You can tell her now.
Happy birthday, Terry!
Happy birthday to me. My husband just dropped.
Oh, my cherry limeade is there goes my cocktail for the evening.
He had one thing to do. Hold.
Yeah, one job.
One job, Mark. One job.
Mike, how about you? How was Vegas?
It was good. Yeah, it was really nervous about flying. First of all, because I don't want to be a carrier. Yeah, I don't want to be a carrier of COVID and get everyone else sick. But plane was okay. We double masked up. We were just around my nephews, which is cool, and their parents. And honestly, casinos would have been perfect because nobody is in those casinos, which is probably par for the course. So it was great. I did go in one night and play some, but we stayed away, and so far no symptoms. So I think I'm good. So.
Good. Did they shut down casinos like Monday through Friday? I feel like that's what I read, is that they were just going to open them up on the weekends.
Yes, some of them were. So the Strip, we kind of stayed away from just because that's like a hotbed of COVID right now. Just everybody's coming in from all over. So we actually, we didn't go much on the Strip. We went to like the locals casinos, which is all the, people from Vegas. They never go to the Strip. But I will say this, we drove to downtown Vegas Christmas Eve, and I mean it's like, what pandemic? There's no pandemic going on. I mean, it was just shoulder to shoulder, no masks. I was just like, my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, yeah, we are not getting out. Let's go for a drive-by.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
We almost decided to go to Santa's Wonderland at one point, Rodney. We almost caved in, but that happened to be the night that Cynthia posted the video of when she was driving down Highway 6 and we saw the line of cars for like 3 miles. And we're like, you know what? Let's put on a movie because he doesn't know any better.
Yeah, that night was insane. There were so many people at the park.
Yeah.
I was there.
I believe you. One day, I promise I will come see you.
I go multiple times, as I've stated before, and you have to go, for those of you who have missed the show where I've talked about this, you have to go if you get season tickets 3 times, and you have to have at least 3 hot chocolates when you're there, and then it pays for itself. So this year I only went twice, but I ended up with 7 hot chocolates in those 2 times. And there is such a thing as a hot chocolate hangover that evening into the next morning. But season tickets this year were awesome because of the pandemic. You get 2000 and 2001. Or 2000, jeez. Whoa.
Yeah, those aren't going to be very good.
Those aren't going to be valid. 2020 and 2021 for the price of a regular season ticket. So we're ready to go for next year already. I love it out there, and you're amazing on the train, dude.
Aww.
Thank you. I don't know what they do without me.
I know. I love walking up when he doesn't know you're watching, and he's like, "No, get over there." Okay, cool, whatever. Yeah, hey, no. I love it. I love it.
I can make Rodney make your head even bigger. So obviously, I go back to Houston quite a bit, and during that time, I had just passed Santa's Wonderland, heading back to Houston, and I was listening to Broadway on Sirius XM, and you'll never guess what song came on. The
Dentist.
Dentist.
Yes.
Yeah. So 30 minutes of Rodney moments. Jeez.
It's because you missed him. It's because you missed him.
Well,
Mike, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm having a French wine, actually. I kind of got into that, and then my backup is whiskey.
Okay.
This is actually margarita from Willie's because my sister-in-law bought a half gallon yesterday, and so we were finishing it off today as we, life is crazy. Life is crazy.
Half gallon of margaritas.
Perfect for two.
In one sitting. Like, why would you spread that out?
We're also taking care of a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
You got a point there.
Okay.
Even more reason to drink it all at once.
I mean, that's why we bought it to begin with.
You get that thought in your head, the kids are asleep, let's get lit. But then what if the kid has a problem in the middle of the night? No one can drive them to the doctor. So
It's fine. That's why we have 911.
That's why my parents are here. But yeah, to fill everybody in, so very bittersweet time right now because my brother got this great job, but that means they're moving to New Braunfels tomorrow. So it's been a kind of a crazy week because my brother started his job this past week. So my brother's been gone, staying with his friends in Austin, started his new job, which means Meg has been alone. What? Oh, she's gonna close the door because I'm bothering their viewing experience as they're gonna watch this in the other room on YouTube. But Meg has been alone with a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old while also working from home, while also trying to pack up an entire house by herself. So that's why I've been there a lot of the week, and we've packed up their house. And then today my brother comes home and he's like, "Where's this? Where is this? Can I get this?" And the two of us were like, "No, you cannot. How dare you ask us for anything?" Because he came home today from his first week of work, and we are moving them to New Braunfels tomorrow. So it's terrible, but we did have a final, well, actually like the only like indoor play date that we've ever had with Hannah's kids. We've had like park dates, but we've never like been to their home with the kids, and they had the best time. They had the best time with her kids. It was great. It was great, but it's going to be terrible.
That's awesome.
But I'm about to have a whole lot more free time. So, okay, real quick, I want to talk about theater news before we get into any of our business or segments or anything like that. So winter events, Whose Holiday happened. It happened. It's kind of a blur. I kind of can't believe it happened. In case you missed the last performance, I've never done this before, but I skipped 2 pages of the script. Rodney knows because Mandy came that night and Rodney was like, "Was it a little bit shorter?" Because something, there's like a lot of segues in the show, like whether I'm talking to an audience member or something's happening. And so I had a segue, and then it was like, okay, then I say, what was I saying, or where was I? And then I go, but I just went to the wrong spot. And I said a word that I was like, wait, I'm not supposed to say that word until I've done the like thing with the thing. And, I don't want to say naughty words, but like and then I didn't like panic from here, but I panicked on the inside and figured out a way through it. And then eventually Catherine rang the doorbell and I was like, all right, we back on track. But what I didn't know is that they weren't using the headsets. So she rang the doorbell. Keith was supposed to hit me with snowballs at the doorbell, but Keith didn't have the snowballs. So he just threw a broken wreath at me.
Man, those Who kids, they're bad.
They're violent, and also the look on his face was priceless because he was just as panicked as I was, and it's terrifying and awful because there's nothing anyone can do. I'm just, there's no saving me. You just gotta figure it out and make it happen. Hello, Olive. So yeah, that happened. A theater company carol is happening. We have one more chapter to go. I'm milking it, and also The final chapter is going to be worth it because Tara is singing "All I Want for Christmas Is You."
Oh, can't wait.
Did y'all see the music video of "All I Want for Christmas Is You"? Didn't think so. So we did a dance music video with Alana and Ben.
Oh, I did see that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And Catherine and Haley and Lucas. It's based off this dance video that my friend Jeff Barbe sent me like 10 years ago. That is one of the just most heartwarming dance videos I've ever seen in my life. So we recreate it with them. It was actually during a board meeting where I was out there filming, and it's when the temperature dropped like 30 degrees and it was windy and cold and everyone was losing their minds. But that's when we did it.
Yeah, it was great.
They were fabulous. 2021 plans. So Rodney knows a little bit of what's going on. You guys know that there's like plans in the works that we're going to talk about at our board meeting, but like it's happening. We're getting back in the swing of things. Like there's plans. And so anyone watching, are our 7 listeners up tonight? I hope they are.
Yes, literally 7 people right now watching. It's fantastic.
I know. Okay, to our 7 listeners, we'll be back. We'll be back sooner rather than later. And I'm really excited about a lot of the things that we have in the works. So to be continued. Are we ready for the next thing, Mike Kilgore?
You sure are? Yep. So he has not been on the street this entire time, folks, because it's cold out there. But we are back with the Roger Pine breakdown, and he is actually going to be breaking down the Addams Family.
All right. So this is off of Google Photos because, oh, come on, man.
Recognize that office?
Do you? Play.
All right, the Addams Family. I don't need to tell y'all the plot of the Addams Family because you know the Addams Family. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky, and they're altogether ooky. The Addams Family. Normal family comes into their house, the Addams Family house, and is like shocked by everything they see. And then there's a bunch of funny gags about how the Addams Family are super dark and morbid. But then at the end, we all realize that as long as we embrace our differences, we're all going to become better people. The Addams Family. It's a good show. It's funny. All right, the Addams Family.
All right, good.
I don't need to tell y'all. Addams Family.
Addams
They're creepy and they're kooky.
Oh my goodness.
Spooky.
I don't know what's going on.
And
You
they're
should
all
probably stop
Addams
the
Family.
video.
It's not playing anywhere.
Oh, yeah, it is on your computer.
There it is.
2021. Yes.
Yay.
Oh my goodness.
This
I
is
saw
how I-
something today that said, I've had 7 days of 2021 as my trial period has ended. Please give me back my credit card.
Yep.
Agreed. So,
100%.
Addams Family, I never saw that stage show. I know that TTC did it 10 years ago or whatever that was. And what was y'all's experience with it? Did any of y'all see it? I mean, Dobson, obviously, but Kilgore, did you?
No, I came a year after, wasn't it, Adrian? I think y'all did it in 15, yeah.
What's up, Dad?
Watching it. How come it's always the same old people?
In case you couldn't hear that, my dad says, we're watching it. How come it's the same old people?
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that question, and I apologize.
Frequently we have Cynthia in here. I don't know.
Very true.
I have not seen the musical in any form or fashion, but I'm very familiar with the franchise.
Sure.
The musical is great. The musical starred Nathan Lane and BB Newirth, and it was similar to Shrek, where it had a Broadway run that was like not the most successful, but then they kind of retooled it before they sent it out on a national tour. And whenever community theaters or regional theaters like take on the rights of a musical, they'll typically get that revamped version because it takes out like inside jokes from New York. It takes out, it just makes it a little bit more neatly packaged for
And
non-New York
accessible.
audiences.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So it was the same thing. So if you listen to the original Broadway cast, it's a little bit different. There's a couple of different songs, but the national tour and then the version that we did was really great. And for our theater specifically, it signified a lot. That was when it was one of the first, not the first big role, but Roger had, but it was one of his first big like leading man roles. It was the first time Adrienne Rowell had been back since she had her, you know, a couple kids. It was like the final show for a lot of people, like Kate Mitchell, I think Casey, Katie Brown. There was a lot of people that were leaving the theater to, you know, move on to the rest of their lives after the Addams Family. So it was really fabulous. And I think it was also unexpected, and it's shockingly sweet. It's very sweet. That's one that we have a copy of somewhere. But it's pretty fantastic. So yes, thank you for breaking down the Addams Family, Roger Pine. If you ever catch him in a moment where he's been drinking a little bit, ask him to do his monologue from the end of Act 1.
Oh, heck yeah.
All right.
So you mentioned Kate Mitchell, and we have a When Kate Cries moment that hopefully we'll only hear once and not twice.
We'll see.
We will see.
We will see. There we go.
When Kate Cries. Hey everybody. So for this week's When Kate Cries, I'm having no issue because I watched Ratatouille the musical virtually with a couple of my best friends last week, and I cried. If you haven't seen it, you should buy your tickets now. And if you don't know anything about it, because it's not a Broadway show, it was made off of TikTok by brilliant people with brilliant minds, and they got Broadway stars to perform the songs that they wrote. These all were written over quarantine based on the story of Ratatouille, which is just the most random pick, but I'm all for it. Did not think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did, but I think there was just something combined with just the fact that these people got to share their voices on such a large platform, and that, I don't know, I just felt like the true spirit of theater and how important it is to communities and people, and like telling stories big and small. Like, I don't know, it's just so important. It's one of the most important things we do. And so if anything, I relearned my gratitude for theater, for live performance, and for the creation and the work that goes behind it. So anyways, miss you all, and have a good show.
When Kate Cries.
I hadn't even heard of that.
You haven't heard of it?
I mean, I've heard of Ratatouille, but not of this thing. No.
Well, if you spend more time on TikTok, you can't escape it.
Yeah, there we go.
And if you're friends with Beth Aiken, then she would have sent you, like, I don't know, almost all of it ahead of time.
So she mentioned that it was created on TikTok, and I agree. I liked Ratatouille, but I didn't really care too much about it. But I enjoyed it. But as soon as this whole thing happened on TikTok, so it was essentially a couple of people that started of, you know, wouldn't it be great if Ratatouille was a musical? This is what this person would sing. This is what this person would sing. And it just snowballed. Like, it snowballed to a continuation where they created a mini musical. Some Broadway artists got involved. They created a legitimate playbill for it. And then they took this creation from TikTok, from a bunch of Gen Z people, a bunch of unemployed Broadway people, a bunch of just, you know, theater people like us from various regional community theaters all around the country. And they created a musical. They streamed it live. It's already over. So if you missed it, you missed it. But I have a feeling they'll bring it back. But it was $5 to stream it. I thought it was incredibly moving. Again, like, I didn't care much for Ratatouille, but Michelle Green and I were talking about it a couple of days ago, about one of our favorite parts was the end, because they had a montage of all of these various TikTok creators and dancers all participating in it. And that was the coolest thing, because it highlighted the fact that it wasn't some, you know, Broadway author or Broadway composer. Like, this was a crowdsourced creation by all these people who contributed to this cool work of art. And then people like Titus Burgess and like Adam Lambert are singing the songs. So I think it's amazing. And I think it's a really cool lesson for youth theater right now, because and Creel and I talked about this at our last episode, how a lot of young people that are studying theater are being faced with this dilemma of what's the point, because Broadway, who knows when it's going to happen again, and like, what is the future of live theater? But it doesn't have to be a certain way, just like it used to be. I think that's the coolest thing, is that they were able to create this out of a situation where we didn't think we would be doing theater for, however long, and they created that. And I think that's just amazing and a really great lesson for future creators. And if you missed it, shame on you, because it was really great. And it raised $1 million for the Actors Fund.
That's cool.
That's cool.
What
Hopefully,
was the eye roll?
hopefully they don't get sued by Disney.
No, they got the A-OK from Disney.
Okay, good.
Disney's the worst.
They got the A-OK.
It's
All
always
right,
a holiday. Are we ready for a cocktail?
Oh, Rodney.
Okay, so today we're making a gin Bramble. Sounds like a made-up term. I think it was by a bartender. But anyway, it's pretty cool because I'm always looking for something to use this creme de cassis, because it's got this it's black currant liqueur, and it's just kind of got this amazing, it just adds a complexity to the cocktails. But it's a strange flavor to add to just, I don't know, your old fashioned or whatever. So it's kind of hard to incorporate into things. So whenever I found this, I was like, I'm going to try it. And I think I'm pleased with the result. So one thing you're going to need is crushed ice. And I don't have an ice maker. So I had to, chop this up in the thing. And now it's kind of not really, kind of a block of crushed ice. So I'm going to have to hammer on it a little bit with my cup here. But the really cool thing about this particular cocktail is that it gets better as the crushed ice actually makes it so that it gets better as it sits in your glass. So I need my spoon. Ticket's not happy with me right now. I'm making a mess. What?
Are you going with a silver gin this time?
Yep, silver gin. The way to go. Actually, I think this is the platinum, because I was thinking of you, Mike. I was like, we need to make this as bougie as possible.
Bougie.
So that's what I went with. So yeah, you wanna pack your glass with crushed ice, because it's gonna go down a little bit. Then you'll need, of course, your shaker filled with ice. You're gonna add 2 ounces of your gin. Been a fan of aviation lately, even though sometimes I call it aviator for some strange reason. So you're gonna start with 2 ounces of gin, and I can't remember this base cocktail, which is gin, lemon juice. I'm putting 1 ounce of lemon juice in there, fresh squeezed. I freshly squeezed it from this bottle. And then a half an ounce of simple syrup. Always make your own simple syrup. It's too easy to not do yourself. So it's kind of that classic trio there. And this is that right there is called something. I can't remember what it is, but it's called I don't know. Anyway, so you set this up to combine until your glass gets frosty. And then you strain it into your crushed ice filled cup. Lowball glass there. And then you take a half an ounce of creme de cassis, and you're going to float it on top. It's going to make it very pretty.
Very nice.
I didn't do a great job of floating, but you know what? Nobody's going to tip me for this. So it's all good. But like I said, and then once you float it, it's pretty. And then stir it up a little bit, and like I said, as the ice kind of mellows it, it gets better and better as you drink it. So it's very good. It's actually a very crisp, kind of summery kind of drink, but I enjoy it right now in the cold weather. So There you have
would
a Jim Bramble.
to know, Rodney, that I intentionally muted myself so I didn't say any smart ass comments because one of the last episodes you said that it distracted you when people talked during your cocktail.
Oh, I just give you the side eye. That's really all I do.
I can take it. Okay. Also, I'm sorry you're hungry, Mike, but I'm enjoying my Sonic burger. Okay, so it's time to bring in our special guest. Would we like to do that, Dana? And I'll tell a little bit about. Whoa, what was that stressed look?
No,
You just have to press the button.
Yes.
Okay, Paul Early. We've been talking about him in almost every episode since day one. Paul Early just played and is still playing Ebenezer Scrooge in our mini theater company Carol Saga, which features some amazing theater company performers. And now we're finally bringing him on to talk to us, and we're very much looking forward to it. We don't know how much whiskey he's had in this little break.
Too much.
Too much. Hi, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Paul Early.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you, my friend.
Hey.
So for the rest of the show, are we just gonna play a pearly moment, a pearly moment?
Put it on the loop. Put it on the loop.
What did you think about that little sound clip that we made for you?
A little presumptuous. Do you know where you got those? Do you know where those photos are from?
Yes, your sister was doing photography and she used you as a model when she was doing some lighting checks.
Yes, but who were they doing the lighting checks for?
Oh, that I don't know.
It was for my brother's wedding.
Oh. What year was that?
I don't know. That's
like 4 PB.
Let's see. Rosemary was born when we were doing Bye Bye Birdie, because I sang the Rosemary song and they named her Rosemary at the same time. They'd already been married for 3 years at that point. So 3 years before, probably 7 years ago then.
What is that?
Whose phone is on their desk?
That's me. I'm sorry. Don't stop.
He's already a couple.
I'll put it on. I can't touch it. I don't have a webcam, so I have to use my phone.
Nice.
It's thrilling. I think it's now become part of the bingo/drinking game.
Yep.
Oh, what is? If you get a message?
Yeah, just everyone keep texting Paul if you're watching.
Hey, I didn't even know if he had a cell phone, folks. So.
What? How? Why?
Man, trying to get this guy's number was, what's the number? And Adrian sends me this number, and I send a text, and it's like, this is a landline number. And I was like, does Paul not have a freaking cell phone? Although that might not surprise me too much. Does anyone have a cell phone number? Then Kilgore says, yeah, it's this. I typed it in wrong. That's what happened. Yes, I know. And then it's like, this is a landline. I'm like, he doesn't have a cell phone number. No.
I think if 40 theater kids can figure out what my phone number was, I don't think it was that difficult to find out.
Look at this group here.
About that. I was multitasking. I'm sorry.
I think it was funny when you guys asked me to do this, because the only person that I've had any decent amount of conversations with, I don't even think you guys could guess out of this group.
Dobson?
Or Mike? It's just Mike. Mike's the only one I've had any. I've
Oh
talked
yeah,
to.
y'all.
Bike
were on
trip.
The long trip. That's right.
Mike's probably like, we didn't even talk that much. I'm like, yeah, that's true.
Well, I think when the name Paul Early surfaces in a conversation, a big talker is not where that comes up. And maybe I just don't know you well enough yet, but
I disagree.
Not much the big talker.
You obviously haven't had Uzo with him.
I have, but there were a lot of other people around, so.
But there was a lot of people that time.
Yeah. Uzo's terrible. I don't know how you drink that. So could you start us off? Just we'll get into some detail about some histories and whatnot, but to start off, how did you get involved with TTC?
I got involved because of Katie Brown. Katie, right?
Mhm.
That's her name.
That's-
Okay, so I went to church once in the singles ward. And I was there and I found, and I really think it was Katie Brown said, you should go try out down at the theater company. They were doing Tarzan. I was like, I'm not gonna do Tarzan. But it was on my radar at that point. And then they did Kiss Me Kate, and it was a show that I had never done before, but I had almost done when I was in high school. And then, but I never did it. And so I was compelled to go try out. I went there. And I tried out. It was nice. It's fun. And then I got cast. And I did my first role as man number 2 or 1. No, I was man 1. Gary Thomas was man 2.
Well, I think the first time I saw you on stage, and I think Rodney too, was when we were in My Fair Lady together. And I'll just say it and get it out of the way. Like, I was blown away at, like, you were amazing as Mr. Oh God,
Henry
Higgins. Henry Higgins. Yes, you were amazing.
Thank you.
You have a thanks tonight. Just saying.
Oh, well, Freddie was all right.
So you realize that by skipping Tarzan, you missed an opportunity to have done a show with your life partner, Zach.
I do, yes, but we had plenty of other opportunities to do plenty of experiences together throughout the course of many shows. You know, the running joke was always that we would always steal each other's women on stage. It happened in Carousel when he carried Christine. What was her name?
Oh my God.
Do you remember? Jigger. He just like carries her off.
Carrie?
What?
Wasn't her name Carrie?
Was her name Carrie?
I know she was Amy's friend, and she was really sweet and lovely, and y'all were great together.
I think her name was Christine.
Okay.
Or Christina. It might have been just Christina.
Mike, do you remember?
I think it was. I don't.
Luckily, we don't have a Christine or a Carrie as part of our 7 listeners, so you didn't offend them.
You're all right. You're good. You're good.
You need to cut that out.
Hey, this is live, Paul. We can't cut it.
We don't do that.
I know, but when you do the edit for the podcast,
No, leave it
I
in.
take requests.
She doesn't.
How much money do I have to slip you?
It doesn't matter. She'll just take it and do it anyway.
$700.
Yes, $700. How did we not talk about this in the show? Oh my God.
I don't know, but we will later.
Okay. Taylor Christensen says it was in fact a Christine.
Yes.
So.
Warren Peasley.
So, hands are cold. There's something in my pockets.
Oh yeah, I know that story.
You.
The best part was listening to a Bible soundtrack. That line of dialogue in the song.
Anything? No. It went into the woods for sure, right? Zach stole Adrian away, right? Adrian.
Yes.
Baker's wife.
Yes.
We may have lost Paul.
We may have lost
Paul.
Paul.
He is. He's back.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I froze.
Zach just stole Paul from us too, so.
Yes, with the internet. But yes, in Into the Woods, right? Adrian, you got stolen away by Zach.
Yeah, let's bring it up again.
And then I'm sorry. And then your clothes would always hit me in the face on stage when they were being thrown over the thing. And I was like, I wonder where she is.
My God.
And I think it happened in Big River in our in our plot line where there was some kind of something happened. I don't know. It didn't really happen in Big River.
Well, and in My Fair
I was
Lady,
with-
he tried to steal away your girl,
No, but in the end, it was Mike.
but then it was Mike.
No, in the end, she stole herself away.
This is true.
Yeah. So, because women aren't possessions.
No.
I
job.
think that most people have.
Golf
That's
clap.
the lesson we learned for today.
I hope it's not the
I think
only.
that's. I mean, I didn't want to bring that up, but that's like one of my biggest pet peeves with anything Sondheim writes. Is like it's always his first adjective for women is always beautiful. You know, it's just kind of redundant.
songs, beautiful girls wearing nothing but pearls.
It's
I
in
actually watched
Sweeney,
Into the
it's
Woods
in-
last night. And what?
Hour Into the Woods?
I didn't know that existed, or I would. Yeah, hook me up.
You watched the movie, right?
I thought, again, like, I guess the more I watch it, the more I realize Sondheim's like just genius. I mean, the guy just insane. So, and he was, but yeah.
Is.
Yes.
They don't have, in the movie he doesn't leave, right? The baker never leaves.
No,
in the
not in
movie.
the
I watched
movie.
it once and was fine with it. It was fine.
Yeah, he
It's
doesn't
fine.
leave in the movie.
I think in the movie what I missed is the fact that there was no ensemble, not ensemble, but like there is an ensemble nature of the cast, and that doesn't really happen in the movie, the way it does on stage. Because when it happens,
the recurring theme of the
right. But in the Rodney, did you end up listening to Mandy Patinkin's interview with?
I haven't yet. I thought about doing it today, but I had to do that thing called teaching.
Fine. If anyone is interested, listen to Mark Maron's podcast interview with Mandy Patinkin. What's up, Caden?
Drink.
Drink. Okay.
Paul got another text message.
But it was fantastic.
yeah.
It was really fascinating. He talked a little bit about working with James Lapine and Into the Woods. He talked about working with Sondheim a little bit. It was fascinating. Fascinating. But all right, Rodney, next question.
So, as somebody who has kids that have been to kids camps, how did you get involved with kids camps?
The very first one I did was with Randy Wilson, and we did it was Aladdin Kids Camp. We had the worst, terrible shirts. They're lime green.
Oh yeah.
And it was great because I worked with Mandy Walker, and she had been doing the camp for several years at that point, and she is so great with kids and teaching choreography. And so it was, they already had a 2-person show going on between Randy and Mandy, and so all I did was just tech stuff. So I learned the light board that year, and I learned how to and I made some props, but everything was like way more minimalistic than anything we'd done for like how it's been not this last summer, but anything before that. So, because they didn't do costumes, they didn't do anything. They just, but the kids were learning the basics and stuff. So I did that year, and then I came back the next year, and Richard Bradford was the director, and we did Little Mermaid, and the choreographer was, that's another, Sarah Sandel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But we made it bigger every year because of being smart, taking a show that we'd already done, reusing the costumes. So I don't know. And then I directed it the following year, but we did 2 camps. We did Aristocats, and we also did with the Littles, and we did oh no, I missed Beauty and the Beast. Oh, yeah. I've been there longer than I thought. Oh my goodness. That's been 5 years then. Oh my goodness.
Beauty and the Beast is the cool one where they really got to use all of the amazing costumes that Becky and her team had just made. So they got to use all of the stuff that we'd had in the regular production with Shiloh, Asher, Jackson Petty.
We increased the length of the camp that year, I believe, by 2 days so that we could fit more stuff in. And then the choreographer that year was Jessica Lemons, who's amazing.
Agreed.
And then And then the following year we had, that was Aristocats and Alice in Wonderland, which was a little bit more bootstraps because we didn't have any of the costumes, but we still had already gotten used to doing big production shows. So it was a lot of fun, I guess. I never said no, I guess. That's how I got it. Because literally Randy asked for anyone that wanted to volunteer and like nobody said yes. And so I showed up. And me and a bunch of, I don't remember there being very many kids the first year, but then we ended up with this bigger high school group of kids that are like overseers. It's really helpful. So
yeah, they're not always the most productive. They're usually there just to hang out, but
and make out. But
we can make them productive by forcing them to. So what is your favorite thing about doing the kids camps now that it's your thing? It's what you have to do every summer.
Oh, do I have to do it? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, don't you?
Sure. I like. I wish I got more freaking drawings at the end of the camp. I only have like 6 on my fridge, and I've kept ones from like several years ago.
So hold on, you have to explain, because what these guys don't know is you are one of the most sentimental people that, like, if we were to look around your room at the walls, what's on your walls?
I mean, I have all the posters and stuff. I mean, like, I don't want to show you too much, but like, I've got all the posters, and I keep things from every show usually. So like this big old hunk of junk over there, that's just like that's the rose from the black rose from
Addams Family.
Addams Family, and then I've got a couple other stuff. But yeah, I keep things. That's how I keep memories, I guess.
What did you keep from George?
Did I keep from George? Oh, I kept my drawing book, the whole thing. So the book I carried around and did all my drawings in, it's down there.
You got pretty good.
I got better than I thought, but I never used. I need to start using those ones that you gave me. That was a nice present.
But yeah, this is a note to Shiloh Barty and any of the other TTC teens. Paul appreciates thank you notes and cards and pictures at the end of these kids camps.
I write a card to every kid, at least not this last summer, but the other summers. So
yeah, this last summer was a whole different set of.
It was another thing.
So okay, this summer not included. What's the hardest thing about doing all the kids camps?
Letting go. That's for sure. Like me watching the show happen and not being able to do anything and just like hoping it works, because all of the text done by high schoolers, and then all of the entrances and stuff. I mean, the choreographers sometimes has a hand in making sure that things happen, but like once it's like show day, I have to let go and I can't do anything to help, and it's very difficult. That was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So get very antsy.
So what about this summer? What did you think about how it turned out this summer with COVID and the way we had to change everything and reduce all the number of kids?
I think we did a good job in adapting to what our situation was. And I mean, ultimately it just became a place for kids to come and blow off steam because they've been at their parents' house for 4 months. And then, and to see their friends as well. And then not only that, we did go over basic acting skills, which is something we don't normally have enough time to do when we're putting on a big production, because it's just like hurry up and rush. So rather than taking natural talent that we usually can find and just honing it, we actually like got to build up everybody's basic skills, which I think is good in the long term.
Is that something Mike could sign up for?
We typically have an age cutoff, but I feel like if there was maybe an essay involved, someone writing in on his behalf, that we could make an exception.
Yeah, we could sign up for one of the helpers, or we didn't have that many helpers.
We weren't allowed to have any this year.
We weren't allowed. That's right.
Which is why we were all broken human beings at the end of it. Hey, Mike.
All right. Hey, Paul. Catherine Thomas wants to know, what's your favorite hobby when you're not doing theater?
What's my favorite hobby when I'm not doing theater? Well, there's a couple things. One, I do in fact like riding my bicycle, but I'm back on it again. But I've done a lot of cycling, and it's nice because I mean, you know why it's nice, I guess. I see you wearing the hat. I see it.
Still got it.
Mike's uncle bought him and us that hat. It was very nice.
Oh yeah.
Where's it from, Mike?
It is from Julian, California, the place of pies.
Yes. Went into a pie shop and bought pies.
And the place of yurts too.
Yes, definitely. I'm sad we didn't sleep in it.
I know.
All right.
This is getting weird.
Yeah. Okay. So, Shannon Van Zant wanted us to ask, would you like to talk about crocheting?
Oh, crocheting. Sure. Yes. I mean, maybe not very many people know that I do, in fact, crochet. It's been a little while since I've made anything. The last thing I made was a scarf for my mother. It's been about a year, I guess. I made it a Republican red, so she could wear it anywhere.
I actually did some crocheting when I was younger, so.
Blood of Angry Men.
Yeah.
But I think much like other things, if I make a nice crochet for someone, I will never talk to them again, usually. That's usually what happens.
That happened with your mother. It's how Paul cut you off. He crochets you a beanie and then he never talks to you again.
Dana, I made you some booties. Oh no, I know what this means. Go on,
Right.
Rodney.
Wait, how did Shannon Van Zant know that I would crochet? That's weird.
Oh, Shannon knows a lot.
She knows everything.
There's nothing you can hide.
There
from
are
Shannon.
ears. Shannon has all these ears that she just hears.
The problem is I only know how to make like scarves and hats and that. It's like winter stuff. And by the time I think that I should make one, it's already too late. Like I need to start like in summertime, and then I'll be done with one, and then I can just present it. I'm done.
My daughter, who has watched the show and jumped in and After Dark, she does make a lot of crochet stuff and knitting stuff. And she actually made, if you're familiar with Among Us, she has made all those little characters and whatnot. Just adorable. Yeah.
Does she sell them on the internet? Because
She is thinking about.
Was that me or you?
That was you. That's why we were drinking. She wants to do an Etsy store, to kind of sell some stuff. But yeah, long story. But she's actually right down the road now and working at Home Depot in the hardware, which is what she wanted. She didn't want the gardening section; she wanted the hardware section. So good. But yeah, the point is, she does all that stuff, and she's very talented.
So echoing through the living room.
So in the comment section, Lizzie Early says that you also weave baskets.
Oh, that is true. That's my sister. I haven't weaved a basket in a long time. You want to hear a story? You want to hear a funny story?
Go for it.
Bring it.
So I grew up in Oregon, right? And my mother would drop us off at summer camps, like these camps where there were like multiple stations to do things. And you could go around all day. And it was like all day. Like, I'm not joking. Drop you off at 9, pick you up at 5. Have I lagged out? No. Dana's just really.
He's being really still.
He's very intrigued. Like
I am. I'm literally just
edge of his seat. We have no idea where this story's going.
We have to bring a lunch with us because like that's how long the day was for this day camp. And there was no supervision, like individual supervision. It was like 100 kids thrown in this park and you just went to do whatever. And every single day I would just go to the basket weaving place and basket weave for 8 hours the whole time. So I have like the house. My mother saved all of them. So like there's like probably 30 or 40 baskets that I have weaved at my house.
Do you think you could do that today if you had the materials? Yeah.
Yeah. I could.
That's amazing.
It's not that difficult. What do you mean?
I have no art skills, so that's amazing to me.
So my mom asked me like 20 minutes ago, she was like, hey, send me Paul's number. And I was like, why do you want Paul's number? And she said, so I can text him. And I was like, why are you texting Paul? But I also just put it together that if your phone buzzes, she's encouraging.
Yeah, but Dana's already finished his half bottle of whatever. It's
You don't even know the name of it? You can't
Kern's-
read the label, folks.
Kern's Irish Whiskey, number 3 on our whiskey tasting with Zach and Paul, who joined
I know.
later.
I'm drinking the worst one.
Oh, God, that is just... oh.
Yeah, we would remember.
Ooh.
Rodney, your turn.
Brittany Green wants to know, what has your favorite show been at TTC? Well, specifically one that you were in.
Wait, one that I was in, or one that me and Brittany were in?
Well, if you want to keep Brittany happy, I would include that one. But, you know, if you're okay with angering Brittany, then you can do whatever show you want to, I suppose.
Favorite show at TTC? I mean, I think the one that felt the most rewarding was George, for sure. But I think I had the most fun with Anything Goes, the last one. So just because George was really hard and taxing, and I get into this mood where I mean, anyone who's done a show with me knows that I'll like shut down backstage sometimes and actually get like a little angry. I shouldn't get so angry. Nah. I will, but I will get into like a focus mode, and I'm always like, my goal every time I do a show is to do it better every time. That's it, period. Every time I get on stage, I'll do it better than I did at the time before. And so I like shows that have a lot of growth to them, and so you can keep on getting better and better. But that show George was just very hard, but it's very rewarding. And then Anything Goes was, I'd already done that show and that same part in high school. So I was already like 5-10 steps ahead of normally where I am. And so and then like the words that Reed told me, do you remember Reed when he did Into the Woods with us? And he was like, Paul, I loved you when I saw you on stage, but now that I've done a show with you, it's terrifying. Because you look so prepared when you perform, but the process is terrible.
I think Into the Woods is the first time that I had experienced it on a level that your stress made me stressed. No, we've talked about this. And Into the Woods is the first show that I feel like I wanted to punch you. The other times, Into the Woods, I was like, Paul.
I was always stressed out.
That was really hard.
But yeah, so Anything Goes was just a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun for me. So because I already knew all the songs, I already knew all the lines. It's just like, come here and do a part that you like doing. And especially with a show that's like totally
slapstick.
Like, yeah, just like have a good time show. It was fun.
And that show was a spectacle. Like, there was all kinds of stuff going on at that show. Like, huge set, huge dance numbers, like all kind. Like, it was amazing.
Dana, did you see that one?
Anything Goes? No. When was
Come
that
on.
one?
Mike, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
When was that one?
Who was in it with Paul, Mike?
Reno Sweeney.
Yeah, what's her name?
Who was played by?
Hannah Shadanian.
Hey!
Daniel Hill played the like mob guy.
Yeah, Daniel. It was so much fun to do that with Daniel. Oh my goodness.
That was the scene I keep thinking about, is the two of you with like the whipped cream and the dog, like that whole, like those few scenes connected were some of my favorites because it's just so funny between the two of you and Adrian Rowell and Hannah, and Stephanie Huddleston was so funny.
Oh yeah.
It was a great show. It was a great show.
And Tyler Buffett. Tyler was so good.
He was so good. That was a great show. That was a great show.
Your discussion of that kind of popped up follow up here. If like I remember seeing you in that role in the first role I saw you in, and it was great. And then I saw you more ensemble in Mamma Mia, and you were fantastic. What has there been a role that you feel like you might have lost yourself a little bit in that you've had either in high school or whatever, or even at TTC, where you found yourself maybe, stewing backstage because you're upset or a little emotionally attached to the character? Is there any character that you've played that you kind of find yourself lost in?
I mean, the one that probably I had to really stew the most was Beauty and the Beast, when I was the Beast, because I definitely, not only was I like melting down, because the one thing I really hate about anything I have to do on stage is when my makeup or my whatever or my costume is interfering with me being able to do the best that I can do. That's like the most like it hurts my soul. And so like I knew the constraints that I had. I knew the constraints that I had and what I had to do. And so like I would just like people would see me backstage and I was just brooding the whole time. So when I did that show.
Because it wasn't just interfering with you, but it was also physically uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I was sweating up a storm. I normally sweat a lot, but that one was like excessive. So, yeah. The constraints that I had.
That was physically uncomfortable. Was it Taylor that did most of your stuff?
Yeah, Taylor did most of it, I believe. Yes.
Goodness. All right. Well, Mike. Unless Lana has follow up.
Oh yeah. So okay, Paul. This is from one of the Diva Dads. I'm not sure who decided to go down this route, but a statement, and then a two-part question. So first of all, thank you so much for getting me into cycling. I owe you a big portion of my life because I love it and helps me stay in shape. So thank you. So first part of the question is, where are we going on our next bike ride? East Coast?
I have actually decided my next bike ride with my mother, and so me and my mom are gonna go pretty soon. We're gonna leave in March, so in about 5 weeks. So no, it's 6-7 weeks, beginning of March probably. So we're gonna go to the Natchez Trace, and so we're gonna do Natchez, Mississippi to Nashville, Tennessee, and then back. So it's 1,000 miles. It'll be the longest trip my mother's ever been on.
Wow.
But I have cycled lots of places, and I've done that route before when I was going to Maine, and it's the most beautiful, relaxing, and safe bicycling place I've seen in the United States. So, yeah, 500 miles, effectively a bike trail the whole time. And so the speed limit on the road is like 35 miles an hour, and cars have to change lanes to pass you. And so I'm going to actually ride next to my mom the whole time instead of like in a line, because they encourage you to ride next to each other. And so we'll just like chat, or she'll probably listen to horror stories, books, while I'm not. Who knows? We'll see. We'll figure it out. It was like it was weird because I had like planned. We had talked about it a little bit, and I was going to tell her for Christmas that that's what we were going to do, and then like she had already printed out an itinerary before I even talked to her about it. So she already wanted to go. So I mean, like she was going to ask me, so we were both going to ask each other. It was great. It worked out great.
Dustin Barty just chimed in the live chat, and he's wanting to know if you've named any of your bikes.
Oh yeah, I have. I've named 2 of my bikes. I've only had 2 bikes since I started buying bikes for myself. So.
What are those names?
My first bike was Eleanor because she was a red bike, redhead. Eleanor, I don't know. Yeah, but she got stolen, and then my what? No, she didn't get stolen by Zach. She got stolen by I don't know who stole it, but I walked into a Walgreens for 5 minutes, and I came out, and my bike was gone, and I was like, I could not believe that. It was. Zach just said he stole it. And then my current bike is named Betty.
Is it black?
She's what?
Is it a black bike?
No, it's blue. It's like baby blue.
Okay. Well, there's a song by Ram Jam called Black Betty. That's why.
I know. But I think it was because I was watching Mad Men at the time.
Oh, nice. Wait,
Yeah.
what did you drive? What car did you drive in high school?
I drove a 61 Impala.
Shut the front door. Where is that vehicle now?
It's sitting in a garage in Oregon. Yeah.
Do you want to sell it?
No, I want to drive it eventually again. When I was growing up, I had a very, very privileged growing up period. So my brother drove a 70 Chevelle for all of his high school time. I drove a 61 Impala, and my sister had a 73 Jimmy. She was like a GMC Jimmy.
Yeah.
And then my dad's favorite car that he had was a 63 Studebaker Avanti.
Oh, wow.
So
you like? Okay, I had no idea that this.
I like driving them, but I have no. My brother has turned into a motorcycle guy, so he has a couple motorcycles now, but he doesn't care about cars nearly as much. My dad bought his old car, his old. What's the Volvo sports car from the 60s?
Wow, how embarrassing for you.
Half a bottle of whiskey. I can't remember.
Peugeot, right? Or no, that's actually
that's actually
just a bunch of letters, I think.
Right.
Whatever it is. But he bought another one of those because he had that when he was in college, and so that was like his first car when he met my mother, and so he got a new one. He he got it like a year ago, and he hasn't driven it once, but he's gonna get around to doing it.
P 1800, 1900.
Yeah, no, P 1800. That's right.
I regret starting this conversation.
Way to go.
Yeah.
All right, so
we can move along back to theater. It's just fun, come on.
Is it fun?
For 2/3 of this group, yes.
But yeah, I really liked that car. It had a 350 board and stroke engine in it, and a bubble top in the back. So even in the summer, it was like really hot. It was like a greenhouse. There was like no metal on the top, and then and I could go through parking garages and set off alarms easily, just like it all go off.
Hi, Josie.
Hi, Josie.
So speaking of the TTC teens, also Paul Maddie Nope said you do a great job with the kids camps.
Thank you. I really like Maddie Nope a lot. We've actually been doing tutoring lately, so
nice.
We do it again.
Well, on behalf of the TTC team, Shiloh Barty has like a series of questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first one is, Paul, how are you so iconic? And on that note, Josie's leaving.
Bye. Love you guys. Bye, Josie.
Bye.
I still have her drying on my fridge.
I have a few on my fridge
How
too.
am I so iconic? I think when you have a dog or something and you really want to get its attention, but it seems to only like the only family member that doesn't want to give it any attention.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that.
It's like that. It's like that. I think that's all I'm gonna say. That's it. That's the end of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Next question. Shiloh wants to know what is your skincare routine?
Oh, wait, hold on, wait. For the kids camp, I think the one thing that I'd like to do particularly is I don't ever try to talk down to the kids. I try to treat them as close to adults as you can. So,
which is how we have situations where they get your cell phone number and you have 40 teenagers texting you on a regular basis.
No, they stopped. They did because you told them to stop, but I didn't, but you did. But I mean, I think, there has to come at a certain point, you get a nice give and take if they know that you're treating them seriously, as even though they are children, so I don't know. Okay, what was the next question? I totally forgot.
What's your skincare routine?
I don't do anything. I am, this is au naturel.
I am so glad I have this pinned. So it's very big and very large. And he's doing, that's fantastic. Thank you, Paul.
Taylor says literally a bar of soap.
Yeah, actually that's the one thing me and my dad have, so Christmas is very functional for us, right? So I'm only saying this because I stacked my phone on a bunch of the books that I got for Christmas, and then it's leaning against the bar of soaps that I got for Christmas, right? So and Q-tips. That's Christmas.
All right, Mike, you're next.
Well, I guess I'm going to ask this one. What is your fashion inspiration?
It's all jokes. I see what it is. All jokes.
Good old Shiloh.
Just from Shiloh.
For kids camps, I normally wore pants more often than not. I mean,
as opposed to
no pants.
I always wear shorts all the time.
Okay. Just trying to understand.
Shorts and long tube socks. Actually, and long fun socks too. I like to wear long fun socks with shorts. And yeah, I don't know. I don't care. I like dressing up, and I like to wear suspenders a lot when I'm doing like dance stuff or whatever. I'm a suspender guy, but otherwise it doesn't. If I'm not dressing up, it doesn't matter. Just who cares, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it seems fair.
I think a big root of it came to I couldn't wear pants at my job before I came here for 5 years. Couldn't wear shorts. No, I couldn't wear shorts.
Oh,
I had to wear pants.
Oh, I gotcha.
And so I think I'm trying to still get over my no pants scenario.
I was just picturing the early male stripper job that you had, where you couldn't wear pants.
No, I couldn't wear pants.
Magic Mike has been trending on TikTok. It's been very enjoyable.
Yeah, and that was Magic Mike, not Mike Kilgore. Nothing that he's done. It's trending on TikTok.
Well, it's not trending on TikTok.
I mean,
but guess who is?
My internet cut out, and I thought I was, but then Rodney ruined it.
You have been requested also from Shiloh Barty to give a shout out to Pearly superfan Maddie Noop.
Shout out to Maddie Noop, right?
Yep, she's actually been in the chat room, and she'll give me grief about mispronouncing her name.
Well, there was a Pearly moment superfan thing mentioned, and we've yet to do a Pearly moment, so hold tight.
A Pearly moment.
The whole damn episode.
He just hasn't.
I just played the Pearly moment because
hasn't played
fantastic.
And then I believe
the necklace that's in the Pearly picture.
Oh, everybody look again, because we're about to play the Pearly moment again, so you can look at this.
Pearly moment.
Oh, yes, yes, that's fantastic.
Pearly.
How did I never notice that before? Wow. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. I made that.
That's terrible.
Oh my God.
Get it? Pearly.
I got it now. I just
got it.
You got it.
I mean, we've been doing Pearly moments for what, half the shows now, like 20 shows. I just saw that. I just got it. That does not surprise anyone on this panel.
It doesn't.
We do have a couple more questions for you, but we've gonna have those in the After Dark, Dad's After Dark, so you'll have to stay with us. But there is one more question.
So Ben and I see I've been. I even practiced it, and I can't say it. Yeah. Ben, awesome Ben wants to know if you are aware of the effect that you had on him.
Oh.
I mean, we did 2 shows together. We did Beauty and the Beast, and we did She Loves Me. And he did great in both of those. Like, oof, he was so good. So I don't know exactly what I would have an effect on him because he already showed up pretty great, you know. So.
Well, that means you didn't watch his episode where he talked about you being one of the reasons that he auditioned for the theater. Or no, one of the reasons he didn't audition to the theater because he saw Addams Family and didn't realize that it was a whole bunch of volunteers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You were Gomez?
I'm bad at watching stuff. Yeah, I was Gomez.
Yeah. I've seen the photo in the red. That's where I got that. Yes.
It was? That was a lot of fun. I can't believe I didn't say that one. Ugh.
Awesome. Well, Paul, thank you so very much for taking some time tonight, and we'll carry over with a couple more questions for you in After Dark if you can hang.
Sure.
We do need to move the show along a bit, Rodney.
So it's been a while since we've heard from Jennifer Riley because we've been absent, and she was super busy like our last episode. So we've got a Jennifer Riley fun fact for you this week. Adrian, roll that beautiful bean.
No. Hey there, Diva Dads. Happy New Year. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday break. This is Jen Riley, your fun fact correspondent. And today I have a fact that combines space and food. Have you ever wondered what the first food was that was eaten in space, at least by an American? Well, the answer is applesauce. John Glenn ate applesauce during a flight in 1962. And I'm curious, have you ever eaten one of those kind of like foods that are, marketed as astronaut food, like that astronaut ice cream or those types of like freeze-dried things? And what was your experience? I look forward to this week's episode, and I will see y'all soon. Talk to you later. Bye.
I always wanted to, but my mother would like, don't waste your money. And I'm like, but it's astronaut food. And so but I've never tried any of it. I thought Tang would be like the first thing in space.
Tang was the thing.
Yeah. Maybe it was the first drink, but not the first food. Has anyone tried any of that space food?
I remember Tang.
Why does that not surprise me that you two have tried it?
Oh yeah.
And
we're men of the world.
Are you?
Was it good?
Tastes like chalk.
How do you know what chalk tastes like?
I would know what chalk was like. I had to write my lines in detention.
I think you've hit your word limit for the evening.
All 22 words for an hour and a half. That's brilliant. My uncle has MREs from like the 70s, I swear, and he keeps them because they don't ever go bad, and that scares me in and of itself. So I would imagine it's something like that, but who knows?
Yeah, the freeze-dried ice cream is kind of interesting because it's similar. It kind of melts in your mouth, like it's strange how it's dry but it's creamy.
Is this the nitrogen ice cream?
Yeah, you can get it in like just a package. Like it's not. I don't think it's cold. Like
No,
I think
it's
it's just you just get it. Yeah, so it's not cold, but it's weird how it tastes like ice cream, but it's completely dry and it melts in your mouth, and it's kind of it's weird. But But yeah, I've had that.
I just want to point out that Jennifer Riley hasn't said anything all show until I say, I think it's Tang was the first drink then, I guess. And she's like, no, actually, Coca-Cola was the first drink in space. Thank you, Jennifer Riley, for throwing me down. She said it should have been Tang.
Hold on. I have to point out what Lizzie said. She said that Paul's fashion is whatever his sister buys him. Which is so true. Because whenever Paul would have like a new shirt or something and someone would compliment it, it would always be, my sister got it for me.
Oh my God.
There was a time when she only shopped based on like what fabric felt like, you know, she would just feel stuff and then buy it based on what it felt like.
Did she buy you that that flannel that you seemingly are always in? Like you wear
Red one?
Yeah. I think so.
Easy.
I will attest to it because if you remember, Paul, it was like a day or two before the bike trip, and you said, "Yeah, I have this old jersey, but I'm waiting on a whole wardrobe for my mom or something like that." It's like the day before we left, it was like you got socks and jerseys and bike shorts. And just like, so, yeah, it is true, folks.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Paul, do you have any parting words for the theater company? Well, for one, our 7 listeners, but also our extended theater company.
12
gamblers.
right now. There's 12. So just
We're gonna go into late night, I thought, right?
late.
We are, but I'm
Yes.
saying, do you have any parting words to say to this, post
To this show.
Yeah.
Oh, stick around for late night. That's all I have.
Okay. Paul, it has been fantastic. I just want to share this before we go into After Dark. I remember as Sam and Mama Mia, you came up to me and you're like, "Hey, Dana, this one little piece here, blah blah," and you were kind of giving me a little coaching action, and I was hanging on to every word because my experience with you was Higgins, and you were fantastic. So I appreciate you taking time to this, noob in the theater. No, I appreciate it. And
I know, but most of the times you're not supposed to tell other people what to do because Adrian's supposed to do that.
Yes, she is supposed to do that. However, I appreciated you taking 2 seconds to say in this, and it wasn't a speaking, it was in the singing. It was something with one of the songs.
I do not remember this.
Well, well, you tried to correct me a lot, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Paul. I love you to death. No, thank you for being on the show. I just wanted to share that little bit. You were a great guest to kick off this 2021, and we appreciate it. Everyone that is watching right now, stick around for Dads After Dark and join us. You'll be getting that link on our social media soon, and I don't have anything else to say other than we will hopefully see you next week or something. Oh, I did want to say that in our production meeting this week, we were talking about what things will look like for this next year. We're not certain. So we may be here every week. We may be here every 2 or 3 weeks. We don't know, but we will let you know. And what, Adrian?
I want to know what Rodney's face is because he did his head in hand exasperation, and I want to know what that was about.
If you say anything about my whiskey consumption.
Because he said, I don't have anything else to say, and then he just said another 350 words.
I learned that from you, sir.
I don't say that I don't have nothing else to say. I always tell more.
No, Rodney has something to say.
Yep, we do. Thank you, guys.
Time to go, folks.
Bye. You guys have a great evening, and join us for After Dark. We love you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye, guys.